friends, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the budget that I wrote for the paycheck my husband received on March 9th. This was our second paycheck in the month of March. I wrote out this budget with you all this time last week and kind of budgeted out all of my numbers. I set up a plan, and now we're going to figure out exactly how I was able to stick to that plan, if I was over budget or under budget. So we're going to be going over all of my transactions here in my transaction log. We're going to be going into my cash envelopes to see if I have any cash left. And yeah, we're just going to see how closely I was able to stick to my budget. Spoiler alert, it was not the best week. I definitely did not meet all of my goals. I'm over budget in some categories. Because of that, I am going to have to dig out a red pen. You guys know, if you've been watching my videos for any period of time, that I like to write in my actual totals in black if I am under budget. But if I'm over budget, I have to use red. I like to have a visual and be able to look and see right away where I was over budget, and so that is what we will be doing today. So I have my budget by paycheck workbook here with this budget written out. I have my transaction log. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to zoom in just a smidge here, and we're going to start talking about the budget. So the very first thing I have here under this bills category is my grocery budget. I budget $150 a week for my family of 4. We live in Southeast Michigan. It is myself, my husband, and our 2 very hungry children. Robert is 18, Austin is 13, so that $150 needs to feed us for the week. It's not any of our household items. It's nothing for pets. It's $150 just in food. So that's what I budgeted. If we look here at my transaction log, I keep track of all of my transactions here in my Erin Condren monthly planner using a color coding system. So each of my spending categories gets its own color, and I enter in the transactions from that category with that matching colored sticker. I made these stickers here myself. It's a great system. It works out really, really well for me. It helps me to stay on track. The other stickers you see here, these decorative stickers across the top, are from Caffeinated Kate Printables. I did a whole setup video of this transaction log page if you are interested in seeing that. I will link it in a card above, and I will have Caffeinated Kate's printable shop linked down below so you can get your hands on stickers like these if you are interested. Like I said, I do make the transaction stickers myself, so you can't get those. I don't have those for sale or anything, but there are similar stickers on Etsy from a lot of different shops. All you have to do is go on to Etsy and search transaction tracking stickers, and I'm sure a lot of options will pop up. So we're looking for grocery transactions. So we are looking at all of the transactions that happened between March 9th and March 15th. So any stickers laid on any of those days count for this week's budget. And if we look at my key, groceries are in this kind of pink color, and we only have one transaction for groceries that fell within that week, and that was for $148.29. So we are under budget there, which is nice. Next up are bills. So for my bills, I had to pay Lowe's, DTE, and Michigan Gas this week. For Lowe's, I budgeted $30. That's a minimum payment on a Lowe's card. I put all of my bills in this light blue color, as you can see from my key. So we're looking here, and here is my Lowe's transaction. You can see it's not checked off, and that is because this Lowe's card's minimum payment actually is not due until next week. But we have been making an effort to try to get a little bit ahead on our bills, so I took that $30 from our budget and just kind of set it aside so that when it's due, I have the money to pay it. So that was $30 as budgeted. So we're just going to write that $30 here under the actual column. For DTE, we budgeted $212, And that is exactly what we paid. We were able to go ahead and make that payment for $212. So DTE is taken care of. And lastly, we have our Michigan Gas. That is our gas company. We budgeted $40, and that is exactly what we paid. So that takes care of that. So everything under this bills category then is under budget, which is nice. I like to see all that black ink. So I'm just going to add up our actual totals here, and we'll figure out how under budget we are. How much under budget we are, rather. So I have my calculator here. I just use the calculator on my phone, and we're going to add these actual totals up. So we have $148.29 plus 30 plus 212 plus 40 for a grand total of $430.29 in bills this week. So we budgeted $432. We only spent $430.29, and that, oops, I don't know what I did there. $432 minus $430.29 means we are $1.71 under budget. So that takes care of my bills category. Next, we are going to move on to my cash envelopes. I'm going to pull in my cash envelope wallet here, which is from Conscious Wallet. This is available on Amazon. It is a really great all-encompassing system. It comes with the wallet, the strap, as well as some plastic cash envelopes. They're not the cash envelopes that I have in here. These I bought separately from Erica Life Vlogs, but they are perfectly usable envelopes that come with this wallet. So if you're looking for an all-in-one, relatively affordable cash wallet, I definitely recommend Conscious Wallet. It's a great company, so check out my link down below for that if you're interested in that. But so we're going to be going into my cash envelopes here and counting up the money, figuring out what I spent. We're going to start with my husband spending money. So for him, I give him his $40 at the start of every single week. I hand it to him, he puts it in his wallet, and then he does whatever he wants with that money. I don't ask him what he does with that money. I don't expect receipts. I don't expect any change. That's just his money to do with whatever he wants. He can throw it out the window for all I care, as long as he doesn't come back and ask me for more. We sat down at the start of our budgeting journey and decided how much he needed to feel comfortable every single week to get him on board with this whole budget plan, and we decided that $40 for each of us for spending money was what we wanted / needed. So that's what we do. So I gave him his $40 at the start of the week, and I'm assuming he spent it. If he has anything left over, he'll just roll it over into next week. Next up is my spending money. So just like my husband, I get $40 at the start of every week. I do keep track of my spending here in my transaction log, just because that's the kind of person that I am. So my spending is on these purple stickers. I use this purple color because it's my favorite color. And you can see I did have a couple of transactions for this week. So the first one was for $14. And then I had a second transaction here for $12. Which means I spent a total of $26. So I started with $40 and I spent $26, so that should mean then that there's $14 left in my wallet. So we're just going to go into my spending envelope here and see. We have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Anytime that I spend money from my spending envelope, if I get change back, I just drop it into a jar. I don't keep track of it. So whenever I'm writing in my transactions on my transaction log, I just round it up to the next dollar, drop the change in my jar, and I just keep the cash. So $14 left over in my spending envelope. For now, I'm just going to set this off to the side, and we're going to move on to gas. So I give myself $40 a week to fill up my Subaru Forester. From empty, that's about what it takes to fill my car, with gas prices being what they are right now. Oops, I just threw my pen. But if we look at my transaction log, I keep track of gas in this light purple color. We actually did not have to pump gas at all this week. We still have plenty of gas in our car from when we filled up last week on Sunday, so we spent nothing from our gas envelope this week, which means that there should be that full $40 in my envelope. And if we look here at my gas envelope, that is exactly what we have. So $40 left. This I'm going to stick off to the side as well. Next up we have eating out, and this is where we got ourselves in trouble. So you guys know, if you've been watching my videos, that even though I budgeted this $25 for eating out, it was actually our goal not to eat out at all in the month of March. It was something that I was trying to do in order to have more money to put towards our debt snowball. It was my goal not to eat out, to be able to take this $25 and pay it right to debt. But every week I was still giving myself that $25 because I know that I'm human, and there may have come a time when I decided to eat out, even though it was not my goal to do that. Well, we did eat out this week. And not only did we eat out, you guys, we spent way more than this $25 that I had budgeted. So we were doing super great with the no eating out. All of February we didn't eat out. And all of March so far we didn't eat out, but if you look here you can see I keep track of my eating out in this yellow color, and we actually ate out twice this week. Wednesday or Thursday, I guess it was Thursday. For some reason I was thinking it was Wednesday, but I guess it was Thursday. My son had an appointment with his specialist, and so after his appointment, he was starving, so my husband took him through a drive-thru, got him Wendy's for $6. If we had stopped there, that would not have been a big deal. But then that night, I was just over it. I was tired of cooking. I wasn't feeling well. So I told my husband just to go pick up Panda Express. And he did that, and we spent $47, which, again, it's way over budget for my goal of not eating out at all, but it's even over budget from our typical like $25 a week that I budget. So we're way over budget in this category. So I had $6 at Wendy's and then $47 at Panda Express for a total of $53. Oh, and this pen's starting to run out of ink, but hopefully we can make it work. Oh, let's see, do I have another red pen here? I have a whole cart full of pens in the other room, but right here in front of me, it seems all I have are markers. So we're just going to use this kind of coral color marker, and we're going to make it work. This is from Erin Condren. The fact that it's a different color is going to be enough to point me in the direction of that's no good. So yeah, $53, which means we only budgeted $25. That means we are $28 over budget in this category. So we're going to have to come up with that $28. And that's why I've been setting this extra cash off to the side, because I know I'm going to have to dig into this to make up the difference there. But for now, we're just going to move on. It is what it is. I am right back on the wagon of not eating out at all anymore in March. Hopefully we make it to the end of the month without doing that. And then for April, I know for sure we are not going to have that goal, because I just tried to go too long without eating out and I blew it big time here. So next up we have miscellaneous. For miscellaneous, I budgeted $25, and our miscellaneous expenses get tracked in this light green color. So we did have a couple of transactions from miscellaneous. First up, when my husband took my son to his specialist for his appointment, he had to pay for parking, so that was $3, and we just took that right out of our miscellaneous budget, which is what it's there for. Our miscellaneous budget is sort of a catch-all to cover anything that I don't think to budget for or anything that pops up throughout the week. parking was one of those things that I just completely forgot about. My son typically goes to a specialist once a year, but it's been way more than a year since he went. With the pandemic, we've been putting it off, but he finally went, and I just totally spaced on the fact that he would have to pay parking. And then we had another miscellaneous transaction for $20, which means we spent a total of $23, which is under budget. We budgeted $25, so that means there should be $2 left in my envelope. And there is, so that's, yeah, $2. So that's going to go over on that other stack. In terms of what's left in my wallet here, I have our debt snowball envelope, which is currently empty because we took the leftover money that we had from last week and deposited it in the bank to make an extra debt payment. That's already been taken care of. And then I do have some cash here in my bank envelope that needs to be deposited. Anytime throughout the week that I use one of my categories here, but I don't or can't use cash, I will just swipe my debit card or a credit card, and then I will move the money from that envelope to the bank envelope so that that money can get deposited and I can kind of true up my account. So that takes care of everything in my cash wallet, but I still have a couple of categories here. For Austin, that's my 13-year-old son, I budgeted $20 for his allowance, and I did give that to him. And then for Robert, I gave him $15 for gas. So we're not going to be over budget overall for our envelope total, I don't think, but we are going to have to make up the difference with some of this cash. So let's just add up all these totals. We have 40 plus 26 plus 53 plus 23 plus 20 plus 15 for a total of 177. 205 minus 177 is 28. So 28 of these dollars is what is left over, and I need to make up this difference here. So 53 minus 25. So $28 needs to go into the bank to cover this overspending and eating out. And the rest of that, I can then decide what I'm going to do with it. So we need to do 20. And of course, I don't have change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stick this $30 into my bank envelope, and I'm going to deposit that to cover this overage on eating out because that did go on our debit card. And just so you guys know, we do have a buffer in our account to cover any overspending like this. So you don't have to worry, we're not like overdrawing accounts when we go over budget in certain areas. But I definitely want to make sure that I cover that and get the money put back into our buffer. So this $30 I'm going to put into the bank, which is a little bit more than I need to, but that's fine. I'd rather have more in my buffer than not enough. And so that's going to leave us with 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $26. Typically, if I have leftover money in my gas budget, I will stick that right into my gas sinking fund. So that's actually what I'm going to do with this, since the majority of this did come from the gas money that we didn't spend. So I have my accordion folder here. This is where I keep all of my sinking funds. It just sits in my safe when it's not in use. And so I'm just going to go into my folder here and pull out my gas sinking funds. We've been adding extra money to our gas sinking fund these last few weeks anytime that we don't use all of our gas money. Gas prices have gone up, and we like to have a little bit of money in reserve for a situation where we need more gas than what we budgeted for. A lot of times in the summertime, we're driving back and forth to our camper, so we use a lot more gas in the summer. And I never want to be in a situation where I'm out of gas and I don't have extra money to pump gas, because gas is a need and not a want. So right now our gas fund has $222 in it. what did I say we were going to add? 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, $26. What is the date today? Today is the 15th. We're adding $26. And let's just do some quick math here. 222 plus 26 is 248. So that is what I should have in this fund. Anytime I add money to a sinking fund, I always like to count it up just to make sure that it's accurate. So we're going to do that now. So I have 50, 100, 50, 70, 90, 210, 215, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. So I do have $248 in this gas fund. I definitely need to do some sort of bill exchange because I have way too many ones in this envelope, but it makes me feel good to know that I have this in reserve should we need it. I don't have to worry about us running out of gas and not having the funds to be able to add more gas, so that is a good thing. So this gas sinking fund is taken care of. I'm going to stick this right back in my accordion folder here. And because I overspent in this category here, this eating out category, that means I'm not going to be able to put any extra cash into our debt snowball, which is unfortunate. I really like to have excess cash here that I can put towards extra debt payments, but that wasn't the case. I ate that in eating out this week, and I feel awful about that. So I'm going to remember that the next time that I feel like eating out and I don't have the money budgeted for it. I just ate my extra debt payment. So that's awful, and I think that this guilt that I'm feeling is definitely going to help me moving forward not to make that mistake again. So we did put the leftover $28 to our gas sinking fund. I'd like to just leave myself a little note to let me know where that money went, and that takes care of our envelopes. So now we're moving on to our sinking funds. The rest of this is going to go really quick because it's all as budgeted. You would have seen me stuff these cash envelopes and my extra savings in my cash envelope stuffing video from last week, so check that out if you missed it. I'll link it above. But in that video, we did put $20 towards our anniversary fund, $20 to holidays, $15 went to household, $15 went to personal care, $20 went to pets, $10 went to P.O. Box, and $50 went to vacation for a total of $150. In terms of extra debt, I budgeted $210. You can see here in my transaction log that we did pay that $210 rather as anticipated, so that was as budgeted. Nothing extra to debt this week because I ate that extra debt payment. So just $210, which is the bare minimum that we aim to pay in extra debt payments. If you're not familiar with how we tackle our debt, we use the debt snowball method. So we pay the minimum payments on all of our credit cards in our typical like bills category, and then we pay at least this $210 in extra payments to the card that we are currently working on, which is a Amazon card. So $210 went right to our Amazon card as an extra payment. I wish it could have been more, but that's okay. Onward. And then lastly, we have our extra savings categories, and these were all as budgeted as well, for a total of $80 into our extra savings. And that is going to do it for our results for this budget. Not great. I'm feeling pretty guilty about this eating out, especially since it was our goal not to eat out at all. And then not only did I, you know, ruin that, but I also spent more than I should have. More than I even budgeted for. So it is what it is. I'm not going to beat myself up for it. I'm going to give myself some grace. I'm human. It happens. But I'm definitely going to remember this in the future. Like, if I'm going over budget in a category, I'm taking away money that could go towards extra net payments. And luckily, I had the money in these other categories to kind of make up for that extra spending. But had I not, if I had spent all of the cash in these other categories and was over budget, that could have really been a detriment to our goals. So definitely beating myself up a little bit, but it is what it is. We're moving on to a new paycheck. So definitely click the subscribe button so that you can come back and check out my budget for the third paycheck in the month of March. That will be up later this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!